WSTU does not endorse products that may be mentioned. Any reproduction or retransmission of this broadcast is strictly prohibited without written consent of WSTU. It's time to call in with your questions and comments at 220-9788, 220-WSTU. And now, here's Casey Ingram.
Well, welcome back to the second half hour. We're waiting here. We think we're going to have Jimmy Smith calling in from the NAACP. He's supposed to call in, but I'm really glad I have Representative Toby Overdorf still here because we're going to talk a little bit about this 5K that's coming up next week. Thank you. And I'm shuffling my papers here. You have to excuse me for a second. It can be a quick transition between the two shows. But I want to remind everybody that it's time to vote, and October 26th, early voting starting, and November 8th is Election Day. So public service equals public trust, and this is a reminder to vote for Raymond Denzel. Ray Denzel will work for all the people of District 86. Ray Denzel is a problem solver and will always have an open door for you to reach him. Ray Denzel won't just vote the party line. Ray will vote for what makes sense for the people. Early voting begins October 26th, or vote for Ray Denzel on November 8th. Political advertisement paid for and approved by Raymond Denzel, Democrat for Florida House of Representatives, District 86. Also want to remind everybody that Indiantown Marina is the place to store your boat, keep safe harborage with these hurricanes that are coming. And folks, definitely at least get your reservation so that you know you have a place to store your boat that will be safe should a hurricane come our way. And you can do that at Indiantown Marina. Give them a call at 772-631. 3272, again 631-3272, and it's also a do-it-yourself boat yard at the same time. And always remember the fun that you can have down in the pocket. It's the best kept secret in Martin County. It is the Fish House Art Center. Look them up online, thefishhouseartcenter.com, and you can see all the great things there are to do out there. But you can come by boat, by car, stroll the boardwalk, and explore what the best kept secret has to offer. It has local artists, an Airbnb, art gallery, boat charters, marina, craft creamery, beer, wine, and 24 flavors of ice cream. So a lot of fun for the whole family. And I think on the phone now we have our own Jimmy Smith. He is president of the NAACP. How are you doing today, Jimmy?
Hey, I'm doing fine. Good morning. How you doing, Miss Casey?
I am doing well. And in the studio with me, I have Representative Toby Overdorf. He wanted to stick around and say hello as well as we talk about some of the fun events that you have coming up.
Oh, great. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff I want to share with him.
Oh, Jimmy, easy now. Easy.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sitting here at the office with Pastor Weaver and our own local news media. She's sitting here, Miss Athiel. So anyway, yeah, I'm so grateful and thankful that y'all did have me on this morning. Thank you for that.
Absolutely. I want to talk a little bit about you're having the second annual Martin County NAACP 5K and 10K run, and it honors Thelma Waters. And for those who don't know, and I think most everybody does, Thelma Waters of Indiantown is a tireless. She was actually nominated to Florida Women's Hall of Fame, and from that website, she's a tireless advocate for women, children, migrant laborers in her hometown of Indiantown. Her very first job, she began decades-long mission of caring and advocating for others, particularly women and children. It's a pattern that played out again and again in the course of Thelma's 81 years. She saw a need or encountered injustice. She acted and found long-term solutions that allowed her to focus on indomitable will be on the next problem. She was the leading force in her community for civil rights, suitable farm workers, and affordable housing, medical care, early childhood education, quality daycare, access to a voting precinct, and political representation. In the 1960s, Thelma started a daycare center for farm workers' children. After having to pull worms out of a 4-year-old's body, she educated parents about health issues and ultimately advocated so passionately for a health clinic that the Rural Improvement Council, later became FCHC, opened a satellite clinic within months of her presentation. She directed the East Coast Migrant Head Start program after convincing the Agricultural Labor Program to fund Title 20 program. An incorporated town until recently, Thelma served on Indiantown's Neighborhood Advisory Council. She led boards and committees involved with child care, housing, and health care. And in 2017, Thelma became one of the 3 signatory founders of the Articles of Incorporation for the Village of Indiantown, ensuring the ability of the residents of Indiantown to determine their own fate. Since then, she's been referred to as the founder and unofficial mayor of Indiantown, and boy, do we miss Miss Thelma Waters.
That's so beautiful. Yes, we do.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I really do. And this 5K and 10K run, this is the second time, and it's in her honor. So tell us a little bit more about it, Jimmy.
Miss Warden, I have a sister here with me. Matter of fact, she's near the table. What's amazing about her and her leadership and her caring for people. I'll just look back in when she started that school for those little kids that the migrant workers was in the field with 25 cents. She started that school, and look how it's prospered through the times of her life. That those kids, some of those people look back and remember them as their kids was enrolled in that school. So that was a great remember for me when I come to Martin County in 1962. She's just one of those awesome ladies. Working with her at her church over in Indiantown, I spoke there many times, and just to see the power of her and her faith, that she just believed in loving on people. And I just can remember how great she was to me and chastised me when I was out of line. So I can say thank you for that.
Which was often.
Don't you know it?
Yeah, she was a chastiser, So there's so much I can say about her, but I just thank God for her time here on earth and what she left here for us to grasp a hold. So
such a remarkable woman, and she really did. She's kind of the mother of Indiantown, really, and she was such a uniting force out there. And I know she's just so greatly missed. And I just think this is a wonderful tribute to her, the 5K and 10K. It's going to be next Saturday, October 15, from 7 to 9 a.m. at the Guy Davis Field at Stewart's 10th Street Recreational Center. And that's located at 724 Southeast 10th Street in Stewart. It's just $35 to run for the 5K and $45 for the 10K. And this is all sponsored and goes to help with the NAACP, right, Jimmy?
Yes. If you're a member, there's a code you put in there when you scan that code on the flyer, $10 off for membership. And I'm looking forward to our state legislator, Mr. Tobo Oberdorf, to come and see what. I know he probably still can run, and me and him run together on this event.
I beat you last year, Jimmy.
I know it. So
I was impressed you were out there running away, buddy. I'm really.
Yes, you left me so far behind. It was a shame, but.
Well, Jimmy, you know what? I think that Representative Overdorf here, he's got a leg up on you because I think he's running a 5K today, right?
On Saturday, I will. Yes.
Saturday or this weekend. So he's practicing.
Yeah, we're getting out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna catch up with you. I'm gonna have my golf cart somewhere here. Well, we would like to invite everybody to come out. I know the sheriff department, our chief, Mr. Boosie, he's saying that he's gonna come and outrun me. It ain't gonna be much if Toby outrun me and everybody gonna outrun me. But I'm getting in shape. I'm cutting back from eating, and I just want to invite everybody to come and let's have a fun day and just enjoy each other and those things. So for this woman here that have did it for all us in Martin County, not just some, she did a lot of great things for all us. So,
well, I have to say, Jimmy, one of the great things about your race is being able to run that within the neighborhood and within the area around there, and to bring some folks out through the neighborhood and being able to say hi and good morning to the different folks that come out and having their coffee, and all of a sudden there's a bunch of people running by. So, that's not a bad thing, and it's a great way for us to start the day in Stewart, and I'm really looking forward to it. I think it'll be a great day and a great cause, and you always do such a great job, you and your staff. Proud to be a member of the NAACP with you and you leading the way, and so thank you so much for everything you do in the community and how you do it. We really appreciate that.
Thank you very much for that, Mr. Overdorf. I appreciate that. That goes a long ways. And you know what? While we there, Miss Casey, if you don't mind, I just want to look forward for our big day, the Miracle on 10th Street.
Yes.
So we look forward to that. Cause Mr. Toby Overdorf and other crews, we get together. We are planning that. So we look forward for that. If you're out there, listeners, you'll be aware that all the agencies in Martin County come together for once, and we do something together with love.
And what day is that?
That's going to be the, what is my date? That's going to be December the 17th, December the 17th, 2022.
December 17th. Oh, we'll have to talk about that again. We'll definitely do that. Send me a flyer, Jimmy, and we'll make sure to let everybody know about that every week. That sounds like a lot of fun, and it always is. So, and it's been wonderful. I agree with Toby so much. Jimmy Smith, he's president of our local NAACP. I'm a member as well, and it's just such a wonderful organization. He does so many things here in this community. Again, you're a uniter too, Jimmy. So, so much appreciate. You're everywhere. Everywhere I look, I turn on the TV. There's Jimmy.
Absolutely.
So, but Jimmy, we hope to get everybody out there next weekend, Saturday, October 15, from 7 to 9 a.m. The Guy Davis Field, Stewart's 10th Street Recreational Center, 724 Southeast 10th Street. It's going to be a lot of fun. Representative Overdorf will be there, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Along with some other people, and it should be a good time.
All right. Thank you so much for this, and y'all be blessed, and I'll be talking to you all soon.
Sounds great, Jimmy.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to have you on the show again this morning, and we'll look forward to next weekend. Next, we're going to have John Fischer in just a couple minutes, and we'll be right back. So, anyways, that was Jimmy Smith and Representative Overdorf. You've got to run. It was wonderful to have you here on the show today. Again, we're looking forward to the election and seeing another term coming up. So
my pleasure. Thank you so much.
A lot of work to be done.
All right.
And we'll look for updates as it goes.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. You take care now. And talking about the elections, we're going to have the great governor's race coming up as well. And it's Governor DeSantis versus Charlie Crist. And we all remember Charlie Crist was a Republican, then he was an independent, now he's running as a Democrat. But we have a lot of wonderful things that have happened here in Florida over the last years, and I think most of us are so fortunate and so grateful that Governor DeSantis led us through COVID. So many states did not have the leadership that Governor DeSantis provided, and some of them are still very much struggling. And one thing that we know for sure, we had a lot of people move here through COVID because we were open and there was a place for people to work. And because of that, I have a organizer here on the line, John Fischer, that is organizing, if y'all remember the Trump Tillas or the Trump flotillas, the boating flotillas. Well, this flotilla is going to be in honor of Governor DeSantis. It's a regatta, and it's happening actually this weekend. It's going to be on October 9th. So we have on the line with us John Fischer. How are you doing, John?
Good morning. How are you?
Good. So we're really excited about this flotilla that you're planning. So, John, tell us a little bit more about it. I have the flyer here in front of me. I know it's October 9 and there's a pre-party, but tell us who's sponsoring it and what's special about this flotilla.
It's being sponsored by the Florida Firefighters and Police for DeSantis 2022. And we're very excited, extremely excited. How it all started was to put, which we've done once before, put fire trucks and police cars on a barge and then enter that barge in a boat flotilla to lead it down from Jupiter, Florida, Jupiter Inlet down to Mar-a-Lago. So that's what we're getting set up for, and it takes place this Sunday at 12 noon.
12 noon, so be outside by the Jupiter Inlet, the lighthouse. You can't miss it. And it's really a nice trip down to Mar-a-Lago. Most of it's through the Intercoastal. It's a slow trip. And you know what's fun about it, John? I know you were part of the other flotillas as well, is all the people that, if you don't have a boat, that are gathering along the shoreline or along the bridges and waving their American flags. It's such a patriotic moment, and it's truly energizing.
Absolutely, and we're very excited because the way it all started out for this mission, is to title it Keep Florida Free. And Governor DeSantis and Marco Rubio have been going around the state the past couple of months on their Keep Florida Free tour. So we named it right after that. But now we've added a new slant. And what we've done is we've replaced some of the banners that will be on the barge with Florida Strong. Okay, and right underneath that is the website for donations for the Disaster Relief Fund that the governor's wife is supporting. So we're doing that as a combination of getting the governor reelected and showing appreciation to him by the emergency services, by first responders in the state of Florida for the tremendous amount of support that this man has given, public safety in his first term. So we're very, very excited to show the public that the first responders, public safety is behind the governor 100%. and we're also doing it as a Florida relief from Hurricane Andrew, to give people the opportunity to show them where to go, where they can donate money to help their fellow Floridians.
Now, John, just to tell people a little bit about your background. You're a retired captain with the Palm Beach County Fire Rescue, so you are certainly tuned in with the first responders and rescuers, and how important the governor's support has been for all of you.
Tremendous. And it's all about public safety. It's not just backing us as first responders as public safety, but public safety in general. What he's done with, with the bills that he's passed for fentanyl, all about fentanyl and the dangers. And it's a poison. It's not a drug. It's a poison. And then all the legislation that he's passed to protect Florida from a wide array of other things related to public safety. It's just tremendous. So we love him, and we want to see another term of our governor. So that's what we're doing. We're supporting him. We're thanking him. We're showing our appreciation to everything that he's done to keep Florida safe.
That's for sure. Early voting starts October 26th. Of course, the election is on November 8th. Folks, it's so important that you get out there and vote. Don't sit home and think that somebody else can vote for you and it's going to turn out the way you want it to. Every vote does count, and it's so important to get out there. John, there's a lot of things going on. It's not just the parade on October 9th that starts at noon. I see you have a pre-party as well. What is that about?
Yes, that's going to take place at the Blue Point Bar and Grill. That's Saturday the 8th, and it starts at 5 p.m. And we're going to have a bunch of live music. We're going to have some speakers get up and speak. The barge might be in position to make its debut and show everybody what it looks like before it sets off on its mission the following day in the parade. So exciting. And we'd love to have anybody and everybody come.
And that's the Blue Point Bar and Grill. It's in Tequesta, 18701 Federal Highway. And that's going to be a lot of fun. And do you know who all will be participating? Are there any names we're going to recognize that will be participating in the parade? Might we see Governor DeSantis?
We might. The governor, his team never really makes a hardcore 100% commitment. He'll just show up. So we're hoping that he'll just show up. We've been in touch with his campaign team, and they're doing everything that they can do to hopefully have the governor there. If not, maybe a cabinet level member of his cabinet, but nothing's for sure.
It's always exciting. I know one of the Trumptillas, Carlos Gavidia, organized as well, was standing on our boat and turned around, and there was Don Jr. and Kimberly Guilfoyle right on the boat next to us. So it was like, oh, you never know who's going to be here, and it's a fun time. And folks, I've participated in these flotillas. I plan on being there this Sunday as well. It's a fun time to gather with your friends and really support our governor and support our freedoms that we have here in Florida. And now we get to support our friends on the West Coast that have so much to deal with and are struggling from the effects of Hurricane Ian. Now, John.
If I could just, I'm glad you brought up Carlos, because Carlos has got his fingerprints on this too. He was the first phone call we made when we came up with the idea. So Carlos is hand in hand with us on this project, and we can't thank him enough. He's basically started the whole flotilla, which took off nationwide. There's actually states that fly him out as a consultant for their boat parades. So kudos and hats off to Carlos.
Carlos is quite a story. I had him on the show before, and he is he and his wife Laura, just a ball of energy and such true patriots. And they're really a pleasure to know. And I'm glad that he's part of this. And you'll certainly recognize his boat out there too. It'll have a lot of flags on it. I guarantee you that. John, what about for folks that are coming from the south? You said South Palm Beach and Broward County that they can meet at Peanut Island at 1?
Yes. We have a number of boaters coming up that do the boat rallies and the boat flotillas down in Broward. They're going to be coming up and meeting us at Peanut Island and continuing on down with the barge to Mar-a-Lago. And that's where the barge will make its U-turn and head back to Fort Pierce. We load in Fort Pierce.
Oh my.
So it's the barge will go 70 miles down to Mar-a-Lago and then 70 miles back to Fort Pierce. And the Broward boaters will continue on past Mar-a-Lago and head on back down to Broward. I believe it's Hillsborough Inlet that they'll stop.
70 miles on a barge. that's quite a trek. That's actually 140 miles both ways for one day.
Yes, absolutely. 70 miles of coverage, and there'll be lots of eyes on it. It's going to be a beautiful setup. It was a beautiful setup that we had on the barge for President Trump back in 2019. This one's going to be even more magnificent.
Now, you say that you're going to have the fire brigade performing. Is that going to be on the barge?
Well, that's a little bit of a disappointment. The fire brigade are active firefighters for Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, and they're all deployed right now. They're over on the West Coast helping out. So they are not going to make it, but we have somebody else that's going to be performing. Captain Randy, he's the one who does the entertainment for the Club 45 events, and he and his team will be providing the entertainment at the Blue Point.
Okay, very good. And we have to make do with what we have because thank goodness somebody was available. You know, this Hurricane Ian, we're you know, I'm not going to say we're fortunate, but it happened before this weekend. So we're able to continue on with this. And this DeSantis Regatta, it's going to be this Sunday starting at noon at the Jupiter Inlet in front of the lighthouse. We'll travel from Jupiter Inlet down to Mar-a-Lago. If you have a boat, you know, just join up. What do you suggest they decorate their boat with?
We have actually DeSantis flags, and anybody can go to the governor's campaign site, and they're selling DeSantis flags. We're kind of tight on time, but at the Blue Point, we're going to have flags, lots of flags at the Blue Point on Saturday night. So anybody that's going to enter their boat the following day, Sunday, can get flags at the Blue Point.
And it's such an amazing view, folks, when you see all these boats with all these flags. It's just so patriotic, and everybody's having fun and just supporting our great governor, Governor DeSantis. What about folks that want to participate on the water but don't have a boat?
What you brought up before about coming down with flags and signs and being on the sidelines is exactly what we want. And there are 7 bridges between the lighthouse and Mar-a-Lago. Traditionally, people get up on those bridges and get off to the sides, of course, because the drawbridge will go up, and they'll stand up there and they'll take videos and take pictures. And we want people to do that. We want people to record this whole event because it's a once-in-a-lifetime event that is truly going to become a part of history.
You also had on your flyer, and this is probably booked out already, but you might be able to purchase a spot on the Tiki from one of the lead boats in the Regatta.
The Tiki boat is sold out, but the other boat, there's another boat that's going to be in it as well, and I believe they still have tickets available. So our website, USANOW.com, people can go there and scroll down, and they'll catch that one, and they can buy tickets. You
can buy tickets, and always could use some donations as well. This isn't cheap. You had mentioned the cost for the masterpiece of civic art, which is your barge, $60,000 alone for the barge company, an additional $30,000 for accessories and other expenses. This is an incredible amount of money, and I'm sure you're going to want any kind of footage that people can take of this spectacular event. It will really be something to see, but it's not cheap to put on. And I remember with Carlos, he had some folks that were skydiving, I think. I don't know if you have anything like that lined up this time around, or
actually, skydiving, no. But as you see, there's trees behind me. I'm out in the field right now. We just had one of the fire engines towed. Most of the apparatus, they're antique apparatus. They can't travel long distances on the highways. So that's a big cost. And that's probably the biggest cost that we have right now is towing these fire engines up to Fort Pierce. So you're right. It is an incredible expense. And we have been getting an outpouring of support from the public, but we still need more.
100%.
So if anybody can make a contribution, that would be awesome.
So again, you can do that at USANOW.com and certainly help these folks out. There's a lot of money involved with this, but it's a lot of fun. The barge, will that be the lead boat?
That will be. Yep, right up front. There'll be a couple of other lead boats in front of it, and the Tiki boat, and then the barge, and then the other boat will be behind the barge. So that'll be the focal point, the spearhead up front.
Well, you certainly are not going to be able to miss it. For folks, just kind of get out there a little bit ahead of time. Again, you're planning to leave the Jupiter Inlet Lighthouse at noon, and you plan to kind of get down around Peanut Island an hour later. So it gives you an idea. We're just pretty much going along no wake speed. It's just going to float down and follow that barge. You just can't miss it. But that barge is going to be something to see with the antique fire trucks on there. And, what else is going to be on there? If you can give us a little idea. I'm looking at a picture here. There's all kinds of things on that barge.
There's going to be lots of DeSantis flags, and on the sides of the barge will be Florida firefighters and police for DeSantis 2022. On the front of the barge, we have a 6-foot by 30-foot banner of Governor DeSantis dead center, and in the background will be firefighters and police officers. On the bottom of it, it will say, "Thank you for your support, Governor DeSantis," and then below that, in bigger letters, "We've got your back."
John, how did this whole event come about?
2019, my partner, Sam Eaton, he and I had a telephone conversation. We were talking about just the rallies in general. And we mentioned something about, we have friends of ours that have privately owned fire engines. So we were like, wouldn't it be cool if we can get, one of our lead contacts for fire engines to bring his engine. And then I said to Sam, wouldn't it be cool if we put his engine on a barge? And he lit up, and it just took off from there. And then it became, 5 fire engines, 1 police car. Now we've got 2 police cars and 5 fire engines. So it's going to be like you said, and like I described, a beautiful masterpiece of civic art.
It truly will.
On water.
It will. It's a sight to see. If you haven't seen a flotilla before, please don't miss out on this one. It's incredible. If you have seen them, you know how great it is, and I know you'll want to go back out either to participate or watch this one as it goes by. Again, it'll be going down the Intercoastal, so any of the bridges that are going over the Intercoastal, a great place to see it. There's some great restaurants down by Palm Beach Gardens that are on the water. I think Waterway Cafe is one of them. Great place to see this parade go by and participate. And boy, yell and hoot. The boaters love to hear from you if you're on land. So wave those flags. John Fischer, I know you're super busy and you're just a few days out from this, but appreciate you calling in to share with us this wonderful regatta, the DeSantis Regatta. October 9th, meet at noon at Jupiter Inlet. If you're coming from the south, if you can come up by Peanut Island and meet there about 1, and then from there, they're going to head down to Mar-a-Lago. And after that, everybody can return home, and the barge will slowly make its way back up to Fort Pierce. So it'll be one heck of an event.
Absolutely. And I can't thank you enough. It really seemed you did your homework. You got all the information. And it's tremendous kudos to you. And thank you so much for getting the word out.
My pleasure, John. I hope to see you on Sunday. I know it'll be busy. And folks,
you will.
Next week, we're going to have Eric Miller. He's going to guest host for me again, and he has a special guest with him, Amy Pritchard, the new school board member. And I'm going to be out for the week, but I will return the week after, and we'll continue to meet some candidates and have some wonderful shows. So in the meantime, appreciate you tuning in. Everybody stay safe out there, and keep praying for our friends on the West Coast. Our hearts go out to them, and as the damage comes in and the reports are coming in, we all know how devastating the hurricane can be, and any help we can do, as Representative Overdorf had mentioned, they're taking donations of pretty much everything and anything because entire homes were knocked out. So in the meantime, I'll see you in 2 weeks. Eric Miller next week.